Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're ready. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure. Okay, good afternoon. Certainly good to see all of you. We want to welcome you to the Vinton Town Council meeting for this Thursday evening, April 4th already. So if you would please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles.
Here.
Councilmember McCarty.
Here.
Councilmember Mullins.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stovall.
Here.
Mayor Gross.
Yes, here. All right. Here in the town of Vinton, we use a moment of silence so that everyone can pray or meditate as they see fit. If you choose to pray, and I certainly plan to, I hope you'll keep this country, this community, and this council meeting in your thoughts and prayers. While you're standing, we'll also have the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Lyles, who's going to do that this evening?
We have the distinct pleasure of not having one, but two individuals doing the pledge this evening.
Woohoo!
And it's our very own Chastity and Angie.
All right. Well, I'll look forward to that. So if you folks will stand for that, please.
You'll face the flag.
I pledge allegiance.
We come pretty close to messing that up. Oh, well. I would just remind you of our guidelines that are available at the entrance along with the agenda. And of course, that just is the guidelines for conduct in this meeting. Everyone here seems to be familiar with that sort of thing. Upcoming events, that is usually handled by a council member, Sabrina.
Yes, we have Angie and Chastity here tonight, so they're going to go over that. But Chastity did have a good idea. Happy Easter, everybody.
Oh, yeah, very good, okay. So they're going to take care of the details, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, so in that case, we'll move on to council member activities. Councilmember Mullins.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Since our last meeting on March 23rd, Mayor Gross attended the meeting for the Roanoke Valley Allegheny Regional Commission. And on the same day, Council Member Lyles attended the meeting for the Roanoke Valley Transportation Planning Organization. All the members attended our council retreat on March 24th. It was at the Roanoke Higher Education Center, and it was great. It was a great day. Myself and Mayor Gross attended the planting of pinwheels for Child Abuse Awareness Month on March 30th. Then on the 31st, we had a little outing, which we missed Councilmember Lyles, that the rest of us were at the hockey game for a little outing all together. And then just today, all members attended the Pokey Joe's ribbon cutting, which was fantastic.
It was. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
We have been busy, haven't we? All right. Next item is a request to postpone or change the agenda. Any request? If not, we will move on to the consent agenda, which tonight contains the minutes of our regular meeting of March 21st. Are there any changes or additions?
Also move consent agenda.
Okay.
I will second.
We have a motion to approve the consent agenda and a second. I guess you got who it was? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, now we'll get to the fun stuff, our awards and presentations, and so we'll start with two familiar folks around here, two of my favorites, Angie and Chastity from the Vinton Area Chamber of Commerce.
She said you're going to say, like, you said my two favorites.
Oh, there might be somebody else in the room. Hey.
It is one.
All right. While Chastity's passing out my little goodies, thank you all, Mr. Mayor and members of Town Council. Thank you for the opportunity to share what's happening in our little chamber world. You know, Brad just said a minute ago, we're staying busy, but we certainly are, and it's now that time of the year that we're going to start picking things up. So each year we continue to increase our membership. This year we're about 260 right now, which is great for us. We've increased our sponsorship last year by about 20,000 for our last year's events, and we'd love to continue that momentum. Businesses are now calling on what seems like a daily basis, wanting to be more involved in the chamber and in Vinton. So that's really, really neat. We've expanded our special event calendar. In addition to our 16 major events that we do, of course, we do the ribbon cuttings, the networking events like the business after hours, and we love partnering with the police department with the Pancakes for Police, Pizza with Police, and Coffee with Cops. And we're continuing our educational events such as Lunch and Learns, which that's been a huge hit, and we have them all booked for this year, so that's really neat. And we're looking at more ideas all the time, so if anybody has anything, just let us know. We're continuing our partnership with the Town and Leisure Publishing on our new Vinton magazine, which will come out in the Top Docs issue in July this year. This is, I think, our 8th time now. We started this probably in 2011, and so we've started it about every 2 years. It comes out every 2 years, so I think that's what year we started it. We're working on a new Eat in Vinton booklet to help promote our local restaurants, where it has all the menus from the restaurants, and folks really love that. I know that everybody can look up stuff online, but people like that paper, so that's a undertaking, but we enjoy doing that. And then, of course, with this, I got one sidekick over there that puts up with me during the day.
The real one.
Right.
The real one.
And then, of course, with this little beauty here, we have All Things Vinton, which has taken on a life of its own.
It has.
RVTV has done an outstanding job of making us look good. We're just gonna say good, okay? Chastity and I are having so much fun, and the businesses are loving it, and the audience keep asking for more. They're like, when are you gonna do another one? Where are you going next? So that's been fun. So if you hear of any businesses that want us to come out, we'll be glad to come out and make fools of ourselves and promote the business. We just have a good time doing it. But we also like to, you want to talk about YouTube for a second?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for us right now is in order for us to be able to stay in good standings, we have the best standings with RVTV and the likes and the shares on Facebook, but RVTV operates off of YouTube likes. So if we don't go to YouTube and start liking that channel specifically, which just is not just us with All Things Vinton, it's everything that they cover. So we're helping them too, and that helps them go for not just awards, but just regional, just for people to get the exposure to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
So if y'all can go to YouTube and then go to All Things Vinton, it's through RVTV, and then you like it that way and share it. That's the best way to do it. Still doesn't cost any money or anything like that. The ratings as far as Facebook are going, in the words of Scott and them, that's why me and Angie still have a job.
Right, exactly. They take credit for that.
Yeah, so it's working out, and they're great. I love our partnership. I'm glad that the town is letting us use that and extend it over to the chamber, because that's something that is helping the membership. It's not just, it's letting everybody know that all of us can work together, and it's fine. If without them, we couldn't do what we're doing.
Exactly. And they're eager every week. Like, where are we going? What are we doing? So it's a lot of fun. So thank you guys for letting us do that, but also thank you for continuing to share it. So, and I also still do the Vinton Chatter radio show on Fox 910, which you guys help with that and help sponsor with that. So that's on the first and the third Wednesdays at noon, and our membership and our folks love that. And if anybody wants to come on, I'd love to have you. So it's a 30-minute little spiel that I do on Fox 9:10 a.m. and 104.3 FM. So it's pretty good coverage, and people listen. So and then up next, well, we have a golf tournament in June. So if anybody plays golf, please come out and it's at Blue Hills this year on June the 2nd. We've moved it to a Friday. But our next big event will be our Palooza on May 20th, the Lawn of the War Memorial. I guess I should say the State of Town would be the next event, but the Palooza comes after that. So it's we got food and craft craft vendors. Of course, Blue Ridge Beverage and the food trucks will be there, and Soul Acoustics is our band, and that they're a lot of fun. So they keep the crowd going all the time. So come on out to that, mark your calendars, and come out to that 1 to 6, May 20th. Any
right.
questions?
All right. No, council, questions? Comments?
Then we start our mingle season, so that's always fun.
Yeah, yeah.
June 2nd, it's the golf tournament's at Blue Hills, but there's, what's tea time?
1.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1. 11:30 is lunch. Yep.
Cool.
Any other questions?
I can make it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you both for doing such a great job in promoting Vinton. And, you know, we obviously y'all are having fun doing that, and nothing wrong with having fun. I think it's great, and we try to enjoy our jobs up here. But by the same token, we're about serious business, and I know you guys get your business done too, and you're doing a great job promoting Vinton and our businesses. So thank you a lot for what you're doing. And you're right, the all in Vinton things. Yeah.
My favorite part is about 10 minutes.
Or all things Vinton.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
All things Vinton. That's great. That's great, really is. So I think if I got the message, we should be doing the YouTube rather than Facebook. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
That just helps us.
Do both. Do all.
Do it all.
Do it
All
all.
things Vinton, all things YouTube and Facebook.
Right.
All fun. Okay. One other comment I'd like to make too about what you just said. You mentioned partnership. I think that was in conjunction with a particular item. But when I think about the Vinton Chamber and our relationship, the town's relationship with the chamber, that's the way I like to think about, the way I approach it. Is it's a partnership, and I think probably the town and our chamber here works closer together than most, and it works a little differently, but it's really good for our town. It's a great partnership. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you. All right. Anything else, guys? Nope. All right. With that, we'll move on to first aid crew report. Chief Chris Sayre.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Mayor, members of council, thanks for inviting me to be here today. Going to give a quick report with a whole bunch of numbers. Feel free to ask me questions afterwards. So the stats that I'm going to be giving are just January and February. We haven't got a chance to do our March statistics yet. Seeing as the month just ended, it's hard. This year's just flown by. I don't know what happened to it.
I hear you.
So far for January and February, we've had a total of 231 volunteer calls. We've responded to 139 for 60% of those calls. We've had 22 second emergency calls, and that a second emergency call is like when the volunteer unit's already out on a call and another call gets dispatched to our station. The career staff does pick up that call, so everybody's protected. And I was on duty Sunday during the day, and we actually had 3 calls within a minute of each other.
Oh.
It was pretty busy. Well, actually, it was a pretty calm day, but like for that 1 minute, it got really busy. We've handled 133 calls for 58%. The career staff handled the other 70 calls, and we've transported 90 people to the hospital, which is pretty impressive in 2 months, especially when you consider one has 28 days. Some of you guys may have heard, we did very unexpectedly lose one of our members. I believe it was in February, and that was a pretty big shock. It was very unexpected. So we had his funeral, and it's kind of been a hard time for us because he was an active member. In fact, I actually saw him Sunday before he passed away. He was down there running a call. So it was really, really unexpected. But unfortunately, that's part of life. We'll miss him, but we'll keep his memory alive by running calls and recruiting new people. Speaking of recruitment, we've brought on 5 new people since the beginning of the year, so that's good. A few of those have already jumped into an EMT class, and they're working towards getting certified. And then the other big piece of news, we got approved for our grant. So we'll be getting a new ambulance. Hopefully here in the next month or two, maybe before Dogwood.
Oh, nice,
I'm
nice.
gonna cross my fingers on that one.
Yeah, nice.
So our primary ambulance is out of service right now, though. We are using one of the county reserve ambulances. The county, it's not going to be repaired because the cost of repairing it when we're so close to getting a new truck, it's not justified.
Sure.
So, all right. That's my report.
Chris, for anyone that might not be familiar with the situation, if I understand correctly, we have a very active volunteer group that when a call comes in, it's kind of like you guys get first chance or first choice, and if you don't take it, career guys take over?
So if we have a unit in service, we're first out the door, regardless if it's an ALS or a BLS call. We run with our career staff. If the career staff gets on scene and they deem that it's not an ALS call, it doesn't need that advanced life support resource, they'll let the BLS unit take it, and then that keeps the ALS ambulance here in the town.
Gotcha.
Just to help better manage resources.
Right.
But yes, we respond to every call that we get if we have a truck in service.
Awesome.
And if we don't have a truck in service, then it rolls right over to the career staff, and they'll take the call.
Right, right. And of course, the career staff is housed there in the same building and everything, right?
Yep. And we do stay in-house, so back in the old days, you used to run from home, you used to be able to respond down to the station and take a truck out to the call, but we all stay in-house now, so we're at the station from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Just want to make sure I said that right.
Yeah, you got it.
And then Saturday and Sunday, we're there morning and night shift.
Oh, okay.
So we do day and night shift, Saturday and Sunday.
Sounds like you have an active group of volunteers, right?
Yes, we do. We're about 35 to 40 people right now.
Wow.
Always looking to recruit more people. We need help, just like every other public service agency that's out there right now. We need help. And if anyone's interested, I invite you guys to visit our website, VentonEMS.com. We have all of our application requirements. You have to be at least 16 years old. You don't have to have any training. We'll take you right off the street, help you get into an EMT class, teach you CPR, and you get to ride on the truck pretty much from day one. So you get a lot of field experience.
Right.
So.
Awesome. So I always like to bring this up for folks that are pretty busy. You still have the associate member thing?
Yes, our minimum level of membership is 24 hours a month.
Okay.
And one of the nice things about our crew is you get to pick when you run. Whereas most other volunteer agencies, they have a set schedule you run, like you run every third day or every fourth day. We let you kind of pick based off of your availability. It works really well for us. We don't always have a truck every night, just because we usually have about 10 people out on medical leave or some type of personal leave at any given time. So while we have 40 members, maybe only 30 of them are running at the
Gotcha.
time because of various medical conditions and other things like that.
Awesome, awesome. Council, any other questions or comments? Great job. We really, really appreciate you guys and
Thank you.
ladies.
I love being here. I love giving back to the town. It's one of the great ways to do that.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, we certainly appreciate what you do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you. Okay, and with that, we'll move on to our proclamations. First up tonight is the National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Catherine, I think you were going to say a few words, and if you would introduce your cohorts there, please.
She's going to rue the day. First of all, I want to apologize for the copy that I gave you all. When I started reading it a minute ago, I realized I printed last year's for you all, not this year's. There's just a few changes, just a few tweaks.
Okay.
And I want to say real quick that I truly appreciate the first aid crew. There have been several times that I have had to call them, and I appreciate so much knowing that somebody's going to be there, usually in just a couple of minutes. But anyway, tonight I'm here tonight on behalf of the GFWC Women's Club of Vinton and the Vinton Police Department, that we would like to thank the town of Vinton for allowing us to plant our blue and silver pinwheel garden, and thanks to the police department for partnering with our club members with the planting that took place, and also council and so many of the town employees. We appreciate you all so much. That took place last Thursday to promote National Child Abuse Awareness Prevention Month. We appreciate it, and the police department has provided us with new banners, and we can now have more than one out front so you can see it from several directions, and we appreciate it. The General Federation of Women's Clubs is celebrating over 130 years of service and volunteering. It's in all 50 states and more than 16 countries. Our members work locally to create changes. GFWC club women leaders and community leaders who are dedicated to enhancing the lives of others through volunteer service. These are mothers, sisters, wives, daughters, doctors, teachers, CEOs, and community leaders. Similar gardens have been planted all over the United States during April, including our organization's headquarters in Washington, D.C. And this is, as I said, Child Abuse Awareness Prevention Month. Every year, club women want to raise this awareness of child abuse and promote healthy childhoods by planting pinwheel gardens. Prevent Child Abuse introduced these pinwheels in 2008 as the official symbol of great childhoods. The pinwheel reminds us, I think, of our own childhoods and the fact that all children deserve to be happy and healthy. In addition, GFWC has earned a reputation as a powerful force in the fight against domestic violence. GFWC adopted as our signature project to work in bringing hope to victims and survivors of domestic violence and abuse in 2008. Each year, over 4.1 million referrals are made to child protection agencies involving 7.4 million children. A report of child abuse is made every 10 seconds, and neglect is the #1 form of abuse. GFWC members care because we all play a role in children's lives, and because the costs are just way too high. We must step up, stand up, speak up, and report it. Together we can prevent child abuse because childhood lasts a lifetime. Again, we want to thank the town of Vinton for allowing us to observe this month by displaying the pinwheel garden and the banners in the municipal building flower gardens, and the Vinton Police Department for partnering with us. The pinwheel garden is a unique opportunity for all of us to work together in our communities to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promote the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, nurturing environment. Prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. All children deserve great childhoods because our children are our future. Thank you for helping us as we continue building community, building hope. Now, I want just a side note. Again, this year we have added support and encourage the awareness of autism by wearing blue for World Autism Awareness Day. Autism awareness is about celebrating and recognizing folks on the autism spectrum, as well as researching and fundraising initiatives which promote inclusion for people with autism. The world's understanding of autism as a disorder was diagnosed, was essentially changed drastically over time. Until the second half of the 20th century, only people with severe symptoms were diagnosed, and those who were diagnosed were often institutionalized. Autism was believed to result from poor parenting or vaccinations instead of understood as a neurological disorder. Thankfully, special events such as the Power of One March, awareness campaigns at schools, and autism self-advocacy have increased the world's understanding and acceptance of it. In 2007, the organization Autism Speaks created Autism Awareness Month. The UN passed a resolution to adopt the holiday, and in 2008, the day was celebrated worldwide, as it has been ever since. So tomorrow, April the 5th, we celebrate the members of our communities, families, and world who live with autism for their diversity and unique talents. So wear blue tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Catherine, thank you. Would you like to introduce the ladies that are with
Yes,
you?
I would. Our president, Judy Bannock, stand up, I think, and two very experienced members, Camille Cabanis and Artie Kidd.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for all you do. And I believe Councilmember Lyles has a proclamation concerning child abuse prevention, right?
I do. Whereas the health and safety of all citizens is important to the prosperity and well-being of our families and community, and whereas our children are our most valuable resource and will shape the future of the Vinton community. And whereas child abuse is considered to be one of the nation's most serious public health problems, and the majority of child abuse cases stem from situations and conditions that are preventable in an engaged and supportive community. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and how we can prevent it, because prevention remains the best defense for our children. And whereas displaying pinwheels during the month of April will serve as a positive reminder that together we can prevent child abuse and neglect and keep our children safe. Whereas the partnership between the General Federation of Women's Clubs, Vinton's Women's Club, and the Vinton Police Department, we have worked together to raise awareness and promote the prevention of child abuse in our community. Now, therefore, the mayor of the town of Vinton, and on behalf of town council and all our citizens, do hereby recognize the month of April 2023 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in the town of Vinton, and call upon all of our citizens of the town of Vinton and surrounding areas to work together to prevent child abuse. In witness, therefore, I have sent my hand and caused the seal of the town of Vinton, Virginia, to be affixed on this 4th day of April 2023. And that is signed by the mayor.
All right. Thank you, sir. We
mention it.
appreciate that. And Catherine, again, we appreciate all the efforts you folks make in promoting the Child Abuse Prevention Month.
And there's no
Do a
seal.
great job. Yeah. Okay, our next proclamation is National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. And Mr. Vice Mayor, I think you have that one, don't you?
I do, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the week of April 9th through April 15th, 2023 has been declared National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America. And whereas the President of the United States issued a proclamation calling upon the people of the United States to observe that week with appropriate ceremonies and activities, and whereas problems of crime, fire, and other disasters touch and affect all segments of our society, and if unabated, can undermine and erode both moral and economic strengths of our community, and whereas men and women are engaged in the operations of emergency response systems for the town of Vinton, and whereas these professionals are responsible for responding to stressful telephone calls from the general public for police, fire, and emergency medical assistance, and for calmly and professionally dispatching appropriate assistance to help save the lives and property of our citizens. And whereas our communications officers daily serve the public in countless ways without recognition by beneficiaries of their service. I, Brad Gross, Mayor of the town of Vinton, and on behalf of the town council and all our citizens, do hereby proclaim April the 9th, April the 15th of 2023 as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week in the town of Vinton, and call upon all the citizens of the town of Vinton to observe this week and appropriate ceremonies and activities. I witness whereof I have set by my hand and caused the seal of the town of Benton, Virginia to be affixed on this 4th day of April 2023.
All right, thank you, sir. They're again a group of folks that do a lot of really good work, so we appreciate that. Thank you for that, Vice Mayor. Okay, next item is citizen comments and petitions. This is reserved for anything that's not listed on the agenda. Anyone? Hearing none, we'll move on to our public hearings. We have 3 tonight. The first one is consideration of regarding setting of real estate tax rates for calendar year 2023. So I will officially open the public hearing and receive a report from staff, meaning Cody.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. It is budget season in local government, which means it is also tax rate season in local government. So, Town Council received a presentation from Roanoke County's assessor, Ken Fay, last month, giving an update on where the 2023 calendar year real estate assessments lie. Based on the increase that was presented of approximately 11.77% overall, that triggers a special public hearing based on the Code of Virginia, whereas we are proposing, or our staff are recommending, that the real estate tax rate of 7 cents per $100 of valuation remain the same. However, based on the Code of Virginia, we do advertise because the assessments went up. It is recognized as an effective tax rate increase, since even though the rate is staying the same, some taxpayers may actually pay more. Some may pay less. It's an average increase. But pursuant to the Code of Virginia, we're holding this public hearing and once again proposing that the real estate tax rate of 7 cents per $100 of valuation remain unchanged for calendar year 2023.
I got the message, no rate increase.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir, for that. Any public comment? No one? Council, you have any questions or anything for Cody? Nope. If not, I will officially close the public hearing. Council, we need to consider the ordinance which would set the real estate tax rate as Cody has described for calendar year 2023.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay.
I will second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember McCarty, a second by Councilmember Mullins. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes, ordinance passes. All right, second public hearing is regarding the personal property, and I will officially open the
Close it
public
first.
hearing. Pardon me?
Close it first.
He did.
You did
I
close
did,
it first.
yeah. That's it. I'm sorry, I'm moving along quick here, Mike. And so we'll officially open the public hearing. Cody, you're up again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, the routine business of setting the personal property and machinery and tools tax rates. The current personal property tax rate is $1 per $100 of the assessed value. There is also a 50% discount, if you will, for one vehicle owned and regularly used by a disabled veteran. The town has maintained that discount for a number of years. And the machinery and tools tax rate is currently $1 per $100 of assessed valuation with a published depreciation schedule. We are recommending that neither of those rates change.
Okay. All right. With that, we'll ask for public comments. Anyone? Council, you have any questions or any discussion concerning this? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing, and we need to consider an ordinance which would set the personal property tax rate as Cody has described.
I will make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Mullins, a second by Vice Mayor Stovall. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. All right. We have one last ordinance, which involves appropriating some funding for the grant fund. So we will officially open the public hearing, and Cody, looks like going for the hat trick, right?
Good job. I like that.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The public hearing tonight is somewhat of a cleanup item for our budgeting purposes. Anita McMillan has been guiding the Woodland Place stream restoration project through. This is a project that the town is participating in a grant with DHCD? DEQ, sorry. DEQ, Department of Environmental Quality, and it's a 50-50 grant, so half the money from the state, half the money from the town. The total cost of the project is $570,000. The town, in August of 2022, already appropriated and amended the budget for the town's portion of the match, $285,000. The resolution tonight and public hearing would appropriate the $285,000 from the state. So this would allow the state's portion of the match to be legally spent on the project.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir. Are there any public comments? Hearing none. Council, how about you? You have anything to ask? Any comments? Nope. All right. Since there's no discussion, we'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion considering the resolution.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Okay.
I will second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Lyles, second by Councilmember Mullins. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes, resolution passes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Don't see anything listed for our briefing, so we'll move on to the items requiring action. And we have with us today an old friend or a longtime friend, he's Dan Miles. He's going to talk to us about the budget for the Roanoke Valley Resource Authority. And sad to say, I guess it's okay to say, it's your last one, right?
It is. This will be my last appearance before the town council, and I got to say, I'm going to miss you because y'all are my favorite group.
Thank you.
Seriously. Mayor Gross and town council members, I appreciate the opportunity to come before you today. And on behalf of the Resource Authority's Board of Directors, pleased to present our FY24 budget to you for your consideration tonight. The total amount of the budget is $15,913,793. That's actually a 7.1% increase over the current fiscal year budget. The budget is balanced, meaning our expenditures and our revenues do match one another. The executive summary for what we put together for next year is that our revenues are up by about $1 million. Our expenditures on the other side of the ledger are also up, unfortunately, $1.1 million. So that $100,000 deficit is primarily being made up by a reduction to our contribution to our reserve funds. So all in all, that the net result is what you really want to hear, and that is no proposed increase to the municipal tipping fee. We do, however, have a proposed increase of $1.25 a ton, which is just under 2% for our commercial haulers. And we believe, with all things said and done in the current economic climate, that a 2% increase in everything that we're facing with our fuel increases, pay raises, everything that goes with that it's a pretty good deal for everybody involved. Because we do have that rate increase, the Resource Authority's Board of Directors has set a public hearing to amend our rates and fees, and that is scheduled for the the Resource Authority Board of Directors on June 28th at its regularly scheduled meeting. And with that, I would respectfully request the Town Council's consideration to authorize our budget for the upcoming fiscal year, and would be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Council, you have any questions or comments?
I don't have any questions. I got comments. I like the, I had to go out there the other day and, I was all confused because I always went into the big building there to dump everything off. And so the lady told me to go around to the right, and I was like, oh, she's wrong. I started going, like, oh, well, look, it's all like, everything looks organized and a little more convenient and a little less, I don't know.
Cluttered.
And the smell's a little better out there outside.
And we've got the residential service area set up, and I'm glad you were able to come out and take advantage of that. But we do try to separate the residents from the commercial and municipal haulers. It makes it safer for everybody. The big trucks can get in and out faster, get back on the road, and then homeowners might be able to take their time a little bit longer and maybe not even be so pressed to want to get out as fast.
Right. Yeah, I was, at first, pull it in there, I wasn't a big fan, but then once I started doing what you do there, it's no different. It's just a little pleasant environment.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you were able to make it.
Good way to put it, Keith. It's very pleasant. Dan, if I might comment, it's been a real pleasure to work with you all these years. It's been a few years now.
It has, 16 years.
Yeah. How many have you been here?
This will be my 16th year
Wow.
here for Town Council.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I've always appreciated your professionalism and the way you've presented the budget and answered any questions we had. That's always very, very nice, and you've been a nice guy in the whole process, too. And also, if I might say, I personally think the Roanoke Valley Resource Authority is something we should be proud of in the valley, because it is something that we've cooperated. The valley governments have gotten together for the most part, and I think that from what you've educated me over the years, not everyone has a good handle on waste disposal as good as we do. It's because of the efforts of you and the folks at Roanoke Valley Resource Authority. So
some very forward-thinking individuals put the organization together, and I would tell you that I'm not aware of any other municipality in the state of Virginia that has got disposal capacity that is sufficient as we do here in the Roanoke Valley region. We're set for the future.
yeah. That's good to hear. We're very fortunate to have that situation already established. So thank you guys for what you've done.
Are you retiring?
I am.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, his work is done. Did you just hear him?
Well, no, but he
We are
might be
set
going
for the future.
He might be going somewhere else.
I know that. I am. It's time to retire, and so they're going to be looking for another CEO to run the resource.
Well, good luck in your
searches on
retirement.
that. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Enjoy
Thank you.
yourself, Dan.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Hope you enjoy it. You've done a great job.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
16 years. Sabrina used as the baby.
Think back.
Okay, folks, we do have a little business as far as this item goes, and that is we need to consider the resolution that would approve the 2023-2024 operating budget for the Roanoke Valley Resource Authority.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Stovall for approval. Is that you? Okay. And a second by Mrs. McCarty. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes. Thank you. And obviously it passes. Okay, and with that, Cody, you didn't get off so easy after all. You're up again, right?
I am, and I will have to say, the PPTRA resolution for adoption that you all will be hearing tonight is near and dear to my heart because I think, if I remember correctly, it was the first item I brought to you all as interim treasurer last year. So here we are again.
Yeah, time flies.
It does indeed. But it's going to be a lot better this year than it was last year. So.
Is that a promise?
It is. So, speaking of ancient history, the Personal Property Tax Relief Act of 1998 was the gift of Governor Jim Gilmore for providing state level relief for the local personal property tax, or namely abolishing the car tax. That allocation of relief in 2006 was turned into a block grant to localities, and that amount has remained unchanged since 2006. And the town's share of that grant is $203,096. So that is the amount that we receive in a block grant from the state to provide relief to personal property tax bills for the citizens. So every year about this time, we actually rely on Lori Gerhart, Assistant Director of Finance for Roanoke County, and her staff, and Kevin Hutchins, Roanoke County Treasurer. They have a model, it's called the PAM model, PPTRA allocation model, that since this 2006, we have used and adopted the rate that it provides for how to allocate that state aid to our citizens and to our taxpayers. So for this year, that rate that is being proposed for us is 35.95%. So this is the amount of relief that taxpayers will receive on the first $20,000 of valuation of their vehicle. So two things to note on this is one, this is a model that is used across the state. It's extremely reliable in predicting this number. We saw this year, this represents a fairly big swing for us, but we are also seeing it start to take into account of the 5-year look back of the swings in values of used cars. So as the market for used cars swings, it's appropriate to see this rate swing a little bit. The other big takeaway here is because the values of used cars have gone up so much and the block grant from the state is fixed, this rate is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, that the town has been asked to adopt since this has gone into effect. In consultation with Kevin Hutchins, the Roanoke County Treasurer, he said that is not unusual. In my experience, it's not unusual either. If you're going to hold that block grant the same and values keep rising, eventually you're going to have less aid to give around, especially when it's only on that first $20,000. So I just want to remind council and the taxpayers that that 35.95%, if adopted tonight, that's not the amount of relief on your total bill, but just on the first $20,000. So if you have used cars or new cars going above that, as they seem to be, then just pay attention there. But the finance department and treasurer's office staff would be more than willing to help answer any questions on individual bills. So I just want to throw that out there to the taxpayers as well.
Okay, good. All right.
That is it. We are proposing 35.95% as the PPTRA rate for calendar year 23.
All right.
It's been 25 years since the no car tax. That's wild.
And this
Still just half.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, 25 years since it was proposed, and when it was originally proposed, it was supposed to cover 100% of your first $20,000. 25 years ago, $20,000 could buy a whole lot of car.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, it's been locked in for almost 06, what is that, 17 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Cody, taking a look at the resolution, if I may, real quick, paragraph 2, do you have it handy?
I do.
Okay, so when they make the motion to approve this resolution, assuming they do, paragraph 2, that's where they would insert the 35.95%, is that?
Do you not have an updated
Oh, I
copy?
don't, no, that's the.
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
No, no. Okay, gotcha.
And thank you for
I
pointing
did
that
not
out.
have that.
Council should also have an updated copy that has the rates inserted in both paragraph 2 and paragraph 3.
Then one other question, just to make sure, it does the 35.95% apply above the 20,000 too? Because just making sure I understood that correctly.
It does not. So just to if Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind me clarifying based on Jeremy's comments, this resolution essentially does 3 things. For the first, if you are valued at under $1,000, you actually get full relief. If you are valued between $1,000 and $20,000, you get 35.95%. on whatever that value is. And if you are valued at greater than 20,000, you only get the 35.95 on the first 20,000.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Cody. I just, something about the 20,000, one or more was confusing me, and I just wanted to make sure I understood it. Thanks.
To call PPTRA not confusing.
Right, right.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
No.
I even struggle with the little letters you got there.
Right.
Okay.
Thankfully, Roanoke County, I have to express thanks to their finance department. They help us out a lot with this. So they are experts in this.
Roanoke County helps us on a lot of things, so yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Cody, for that explanation, and thank you, Jeremy. We appreciate the input there. Okay, Council, you've heard the presentation concerning the PPTRA or whatever. Yeah. So obviously it is a little bit of a tax break, though, so that's always appreciated. Is there a motion? Or first of all, any comments, suggestions, questions? Nope. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion for approval by Councilman Lyles, and a second by Councilmember McCarty. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. And obviously, the resolution passes, and thank you, Cody, for that explanation.
Thank you.
Hello, Anita.
Mr. Mayor, members of the Town Council, I do have before you a resolution to award a construction bid and authorizing the town manager to execute a contract with Whole End Incorporated. Just a brief summary. We advertised the construction bid in January. It's a long process. This is for the small section of the phase 2. It's the 2B from Gerhart Park to Walnut Avenue. I would like to thank Mr. Carroll with the review and with the license agreement with Norfolk Southern for the overhead shelter protection there. That's why this section takes so long to get to this stage, and also because of the time of year restriction for the log purge. So the project will not begin until June after the time of year restriction. We received 3 bids, F&B, Contractors, Summit Contracting, and Holt. And Whole Incorporated is the lowest bidder. And after the bid were received, analyzed by the engineer, we submit the request for authorization to Virginia Department of Transportation. That normally take 3 weeks to a month to receive the authorization. So finally, we have it here. So I can't wait for this construction to start. One is finished, and the crosswalk for one is finished. Someone can walk from Gasnick all the way to Roanoke River Greenway.
Wow.
So via Tinker Creek. So
Yeah.
I'll be happy to answer any question that you have.
Okay, thank you. Seems like we've been working on this for a while, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Council, you have any questions or comments?
Mayor Gross, I just wanted to thank Anita for this project. It's been a lot of work in the progress, many years of planning.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to highlight or ask Anita if she wouldn't mind clarifying both on this one and the next one about the amount of grant funding that is being provided for both of these projects. It's not all town money. Just wanted her to point that out.
Okay. Yes, for the 2B is transportation alternative grant is 80/20. So the town match is 20%, but if you recall, Pathfinder for Greenway have donated $30,000 to help towards the overhead shelter protection. And of course, the cost for that is about $90,000. We did submit another request to Pathfinders for additional funding to help the town match for that. So with Norfolk Southern license agreement and things like that, the cost is a lot higher for this to be, even though it's a really small section. But we were lucky that Norfolk Southern agreed to charge us one-time fee instead annually. So that was take months to get that negotiation with the real estate agent. But she's really nice to work with, so I like to recognize that, and also Pathfinders. And of course, Pete has always been there to help me with this funding, with this process, and allowing me to work on this fun project when it's finished. But and council too. You all always provided the matching required, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree with Pete. I mean, thank you, because, I mean, after being on the TPO, you're definitely got your finger on the pulse, and yeah, you got a legacy to leave. I mean, you've got the work that you've done to leave, that you just said you can walk from Gus Nix Boulevard to the Greenway, and I mean, that's a huge accomplishment, so thank you.
No kidding. Thank you for that, Mike. That's a good comment. We appreciate that. And yeah, I know it's been a lot of work, but I really think it's something our citizens will enjoy. So very, very much an asset to our town. So any other comments, questions? No?
Nope, I know that Anita and the staff, everyone has put in a lot of work on this, and it's glad to see it's right here, getting ready to happen and connect. So,
No kidding.
Like Mike said, great job, and good legacy.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. It is. All right, any other comments? If not, Council, you have before you a resolution that would authorize the monies for the award of the bid for the construction as Anita has described.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember McCarty, second by Councilmember Lyles. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes. One more.
Yes, and this next one is Walnut Avenue Phase 2. Mr. Lyles and Mr. Stovall know really well, because we had to go back to TPO for additional funding for this one. And it's a small section, and it's been a long process, but we had to advertise it twice, and both time we only received one bid. The first one is 1.5 million, and then when we rebid it, we also received only one bid for 716,000. This is STBG, formerly known as RSTP, is 100% funded. There's no town fund for this one except town time, and and then this one include right-of-way acquisition, which also be paid by the grant. So I do have before you a resolution for the town manager to execute a contract and to award the bid to FNB contractors.
Okay. Thank you. Council, any comments or questions? Nope. If not, we will entertain a motion for the resolution as Anita has described.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. We have a motion by Councilmember Mullins, second by Councilmember Lyles. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes.
Thank you so much for all the tree project, the woodland. So that is, we did have to clear the tree before April 1st. And hopefully by May, we'll start the construction project for that.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank Jeremy for all this contract that he had to review.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anita.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Anita.
Anita.
Well, that's an incredibly good point too, Anita. A lot of work that goes on behind the scenes before we actually get to cutting down trees or building a bridge or anything. Absolutely. So, yeah, a lot of work to it. So thank you for all the work you guys do. And with that, we'll move to the town manager's project.
Thank you, Mayor Gross, members of council. Just like to say thanks to Anita and Cody for carrying the meeting tonight. Appreciate all the work. Didn't have to talk a whole lot tonight. Wanted to thank council for your time and your attention at the retreat a few weeks ago. That was very helpful to staff. I know they enjoy having an opportunity to sit with you and chat with you, and in this case present to you, and I know we get a lot of feedback from you, and it's very helpful as we build the budget and we put our work plan together for the next year. So appreciate your time. It's a lot of commitment outside of this meeting, and you guys are there for us time and time again, so appreciate that. Just a couple highlights I'd like to make, if you will. I want to let everyone know that the second edition of the All Things Vinton newsletter will be coming out tomorrow, and encourage folks that may be watching this tonight. You don't want to miss out on this information. It's really good stuff. So if you haven't registered to receive the newsletter, please do so. You can find those links on our social media and on our website. Or if you just want to call or email a staff member, we can help you walk through it. But it's a great wealth of information and kind of a highlights of the previous month or 6 weeks or so between editions. And I saw the final draft this afternoon, and it's going to be a good one. So I just encourage folks to sign up to receive that newsletter.
Does Debbie Adams write for it? For that newsletter?
She contributes quite a bit.
She contributes. So it's really a good newsletter, though.
We do provide links to some of her articles that she's run, and so it's just, again, it's a good kind of refresh of all things that's happened in the last month or so. This will be our second edition, so we're kind of getting into the swing of things, and but I think it'll be a good one. Wanted to acknowledge that the bus shelter at the Lake Drive Shopping Center has been completed. I want to thank the Lions Club for their attention and assistance on this project. This is another one that's drug out much longer than we'd anticipated. There was some fabrication requirements there because of some stormwater runoff and some curb and gutter and some ADA requirements that complicated that project. And then we had some damage before it was completed. But staff, Nathan pulled together a number of resources to kind of get this over the finish line. And again, just want to thank the Lions Club for their contributions toward that shelter. I'm seeing it used quite a bit, and in fact, all of our shelters. We have 4 shelters now in Vinton, and it's nice to provide those amenities for our bus users. So just nice to see. They're
It
very
looks nice,
attractive
too.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, you're right.
I had a great time at Pokey Joe's today. I'm sure some of you will comment on that. So it was nice to see that. And Corey Welch, a Vinton native, bring that a second location, but bring a new restaurant to Vinton. It's nice to see that parking lot full again the last several weeks. It's the most vehicles I've ever seen on a restaurant that's not actually open the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Doing his soft opening, it's been remarkable. So congratulations to him and all his staff. I wanted to let council know that we had 2 officers clear field training with just in the last 2 weeks, so Officer Valadares and Officer Ponce. They were new recruits that completed the police academy over the summer or over the fall, and just finished their field training. So they've been released and are officially full duty service officers. So just wanted to congratulate them on their achievement. They're doing a wonderful job. And lastly, just highlight the construction demolition that's going on in downtown. Want to thank our residents and in particular our downtown businesses for their patience and understanding. It's really nice to see the downtown community coming together. business owners out supporting one another, and they've gotten creative on some of their Facebook posts and how they're promoting their businesses are still open. And all of our staff have been contributing towards press releases and trying to keep the message open that it's progress, it's inconvenient, and it's difficult, but necessary. So it is a step in the right direction to get the demolition underway, so we can rebuild. And then we have the sewer line for our another new restaurant that's going to be opening in May. There's a sewer line connection on Pollard, and unfortunately they're overlapping, but these things take months. In the case of the fire demo, it's been 9 months in the works. And the restaurant renovations have been going on for maybe 3 or 4 months, and it just happened that they overlapped. And we're trying to keep as many roads open in downtown as possible, so we're closing and opening as necessary. But I think it's working pretty well, and the detours are working pretty good. And but just want to thank everybody for their patience and understanding, and we'll get it wrapped up just as quickly as possible, and get everything open and hopefully start rebuilding sometime soon. And
Cool.
Other than that, that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that report. All right. I don't see anything listed for the committee report, so we'll move on to council. Vice Mayor, we can start with you this evening.
Okay. Well, first off, I thought Friday night was fun at the hockey game. It's always good to get together and watch a little hockey like everybody else. You know, Pokey Joe's naturally just, as I was saying today, we sat in that corner of the round table, 6 of us anyway. And, you know, Corey came in, and just the fact of how he did it, and vibrant, and, you know, the people are happy. And, you know, like I said to him today, the thing that makes me excited about it is the fact that he's the only one in town. You know, we got Mexican restaurants, and we got sandwiches and subs and pizzas, but he's the only one in town. So I was excited the other day to get a call or talk to Cody about Mountain View Road. I know y'all saw that email. I think that's going to be exciting. I don't know that I've ever seen that concept, where the milling concept I've had, but where they add concrete to it. I don't know if you saw that or not, but they add concrete to it. And so I think that's going to be exciting. And then fourthly, I've got some good news for the town in conjunction with the Boys and Girls Club, Vinton Baptist Church, and right now Lot's Funeral Home. I'm a member of Vinton Baptist, and we own that lot right beside Lot's Funeral Home. And a national company goes throughout the United States and partners with Boys and Girls Clubs and different organizations, and they give for free a playground. So we are in the second stages of it because we had the Boys and Girls Club. The pastor, you may very well know, Andy Nicely and myself are on the preliminary team. Of course, naturally, Lots is on board. It's roughly going to be about 40 by 60. And I am asking you personally, when the time comes, to volunteer, because they come in on a 3-day stint. They prep the first day. They need about 50 volunteers. Prep the first 2 days, 50 volunteers. And then on the day of the build, they need about 75 volunteers. Cool. And they bring everything. They bring it all. They bring a tractor trailer in. And so we are now, the biggest thing we had to figure out was that pipe that we put in up there behind that little strip mall. We thought it ran through the middle of the property, but I think, knock on wood, we're going to find out for sure tomorrow. But it goes to the corner, so it allows us to put it in. We're all going to put a 6-foot fence up, black fence, just like it's up at Herman L. Horn. We're not going to lock it, and we're going to leave it open to the public for the citizens to use. So Boys and Girls Club is good with that. So just stay tuned, and you'll see that. I'm going to get a presentation, a formal presentation, once we get everything nailed down.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's awesome, Mike. Notice how he pointed to you. You volunteers. The more volunteers he gets, the less he has to do. Be sure you're available.
75. We need 75.
I guess you'd call that volunteering. I don't know.
Well, he was the one to do it. I need you personally.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
No, that's great.
Well, you know a lot of people. You know people's got equipment and, you know, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Vice Mayor. That's a great report. Very exciting. Yeah. Or you have anything further this evening?
I would like to say thanks to Pete and the staff for the retreat, because I think you did a great job, and It was very nice. Everything, a great location, and I like the setup and all your hard work, and it was nice to hear from everyone.
Yeah, it sure was. It was great. Thank you. You have anything further, Sabrina?
I had Pokey Joe's. I have thank you to Lori. I want to shout out for Famous Anthony's because I did go eat there in the last 2 weeks. And also, I just want to say a big thank you. I know a lot of people were involved, but I think Nathan did so much on that Lions Club bus stop. I think he actually even went out there. I mean, Chris saw him doing stuff. He said, I like that kid. I said, I do too. But anyway, please let him know that thanks from the bottom of our heart that that thing got put up.
Sounds good.
And that's all.
All right, thank
And
you,
happy
man.
Easter.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you bet.
Happy Easter, absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Sir?
What you got on your list?
Well, something going down now. Check. Check.
Yeah. That's, my list just got short.
Check.
You
Yeah.
good?
No, nothing further, Mayor.
I guess you and I can just say ditto, right?
You want to get
Yeah.
comment on the playground if you want to?
I did wear my bandana tie for Pokey Joe's tonight.
All right, yeah. Yeah, the Pokey Joe's thing was fun. I tell you what, I don't think I've gotten any more questions about anything other than when's the restaurant open? When's the restaurant open? So I'm glad to see it here. I think they're going to do really well. Great food, reasonable prices. I think they'll do real well. I know it's been mentioned, but just briefly, thank you guys for the council retreat. It was really awesome. I enjoyed it, and thank you for the hockey game tickets.
You're so welcome.
It was very good, very good. So I won't go through the list because it's the same thing everyone said. Jeremy, good to see you. Appreciate your input tonight. So, all right, anything further to come before council this evening? If not, we'll entertain a motion to leave.
I'll make a motion.
All right, all in favor signify by leaving. Thank you, folks. God bless. All right.